Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Replay Banjo Kazooie for the N64. Last time we did Treasure Trove Cove. And this time I have a special guest, so why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, I am Hikari. You may remember me from such viewings as the Random Podcast, because I don't know the full name of it. It's very convoluted.
The Ramble Express podcast.
Yeah, and I will be covering both Clanker's Cavern and Bubble Gloop Swamp.
Yeah, and you're probably wondering why these platforms are already here. That's because we had a failed recording because my program decided to crap out on itself. So
Yay, Mumbo Token.
Things happen, I guess. I won't be getting that until we finish this world because there's no point doing it now. So what was your experience with this game?
In terms of the series, this is the only game I've fully completed because I have played half of Tui before stopping, and this was back in my extreme emulator days when I was all about emulators when I was in the 7th, 8th grade. As for the original Banjo Kazooie, I think this is a fantastic game. I haven't played it since my emulator high, but I'm willing to bet if I go back to it, I won't have much trouble doing so because I really enjoyed this game.
Well, I tried using emulators with my friend a while back, and I can't get to grips with playing like Banjo on a keyboard.
It took me a while to get used to it.
So, I don't know, it's hard for me to learn all the moves with a keyboard, because I feel it only really works comfortably for me on a controller. But
yeah, that's the general thing with 3D games. You're gonna need full movement, and a D-pad only can go so many directions.
Yeah.
And yet I was able to master Banjo Kazooie on a keyboard, yet I could not play Super Mario 64 DS. Imagine that.
I can't really play that game either, so.
Yeah, people keep saying like the 3DS circle pad helps it. It's a little bit better, but not enough to where I can comfortably play it.
So, yeah, I just can't stand playing most games on a keyboard in general. Like, there are a few that I can, like Sims and whatnot.
Yeah, I can do 2D platformers and RPGs with a keyboard, but not an actual 3D game.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's go back on topic. We have Clanker.
Yep, and he's pretty much acting as like a garbage grinder or something. And
he's pretty much the garbage disposal for this world.
Yeah.
And if you can look very closely, you can see that he has like flesh on him.
Yeah.
Which makes me want to believe that Gruntilda actually did some magic, let's say, on Clanker. Saw him as an ordinary, what is he supposed to be, a whale or a shark? I want to say whale, but he looks more like a shark.
I just say a mechanical fish.
Yeah. And we have Gloop, a very forgettable character, but he brings us air bubbles.
Yeah, I always got nervous on this part as a kid because I always thought I was going to drown. Because you're really far down. And you don't want to miss anything here.
No. Like, you have the music notes and the Jinjo to get.
Yeah. Because I haven't mentioned this yet, but if you die in this game, you have all the notes in the world reset. And that gets really annoying, especially in like Rusty Bucket Bay.
Oh god, Rusty Bucket Bay.
We won't be getting...
The engine room, man. The engine room. Jesus.
We won't be getting...
What kind of ship has an engine room like that?
I don't know. But... yeah, we won't be getting there for a while, but still.
That's like World 8, I believe.
Yeah.
My favorite world in this game is actually Map Monster Mansion.
I feel that's supposed to be Gruntilda's, like, home.
Yeah, I got that feeling too.
Because you see, paintings of her in the big house and all.
Although it is weird how, if you think about it, if that's supposed to be Gruntilda's home, then why is it connected to the lair? Then again, you could say that for pretty much every world in this game.
Yeah, because like, how did she get Treasure Trove Cove and Mumbo's Mountain here?
Yeah, tell me about it.
I want to know how where these worlds are from, if that makes sense. Because you can see like a gate outside of what's it called?
Mad Monster Mansion.
Yeah, you can see a gate like at the back, but you can't go there. So.
I mean, if there's one thing Banjo Tooie does over this game is that it's how the worlds are connected. Because in this game, it's just one giant place with like many different connections. But the thing that Banjo Kazooie doesn't do as well as its sequel is that the worlds don't feel connected. They just feel random. Whereas in the sequel, they're all connected, and even in many cases, some of these worlds are connected. Which makes Banjo Tooie's world, more like an actual world.
It feels more organic, I guess, is the best way to put it. Because this game, every time you go into a new world, it feels like you're in like a different universe per se, and like it doesn't feel like it's part of Grunty's lair or anything. Which is, I guess, a good and bad thing, considering the way you look at it.
Part of me says it's a good thing since the hub world isn't too massive, but at the same time, in context, you're thinking, alright, so how is this connected to the layer?
Yeah.
If you're looking at it at a practical sense.
I'm gonna assume that Grunty just took over these worlds and then connected them to her lair with these warp pads.
Well, it leaves the question, like, I could see why Clanker's Cavern can be used. It's like a garbage disposal, but what would, like, Mumbo's Mountain be needed for?
What?
You gotta think about that.
And also, the note doors are, like, spells you have to break, so why doesn't she just, like, use the most powerful note door for the first one so Banjo can't, like, get past it?
I'd like to think it's because she doubted that Banjo Kazooie could do it. That's usually my excuse, is like they probably doubt, maybe they won't be able to do it. And that only works for a first-time adventure. Like something like Super Mario 64, Bowser just leaves like one door open. It's kind of stupid.
Yeah. Bowser's laughing 64 always used to creep me out.
What?
The ha 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 thing when you walk in the castle. You know what I mean?
In what game?
In Mario 64.
Oh, what about it?
I don't know, as a kid it always used to creep me out.
You know what I find really morbid? They're all dead, but one is still talking.
I don't get that.
I mean, I know it's a cartoon, but if you think about it, it's really morbid.
I think you commit genocide in Tooie at one point.
You do?
Yeah, you kill these two innocent ice cubes.
Jesus. That's kind of like killing all the honey stands.
It's like in Cloud Cuckoo Land, you have to. This ice cube wants to go back to the icy side of Hellfire Peaks, and you push her in. You push him into the fire side, and that cools down a really boiling, like, pool of like water and whatnot, which then makes it so these pig kids in Jolly Roger's Lagoon can swim in the water.
Do you want crispy bacon?
No. I hate that. I hate them.
That is like one of the most. That's like one of the best worst puns I've ever seen in anything.
I hate that mission. It's not Canary Mary bad, but still. Okay, so you have to.
And now you're performing dental action on him.
Yes, for some reason, shooting eggs at the golden tooth makes it just disappear, I guess?
I can't imagine what it'd be like having a golden tooth. It'd be disgusting.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine having to taste all that metal.
Oh, yeah.
And believe me, having metal in your mouth is disgusting. It just tastes really wrong.
So, how do you feel about Clanker's Cavern?
It's one of the best atmospheric levels in the game,
Yeah.
but in terms of an actual level, I prefer quite a number compared to this. It's not Rusty Bucket Bay bad, but
Oh, yeah.
it's okay.
Yeah, I like this level. The Clanker himself is something you don't usually see in this era of consoles, but it looks really nice for its time.
This was when games actually tried being creative.
Yeah, I love this era of video games because of how they tried, like, doing what they could with the 3D genre.
And also something pretty morbid. Despite being a mechanical fish, he still has like organs and stuff, which pretty much proves my theory. Clanker was probably a normal fish until Gruntilda made him a garbage one.
Yeah.
It's pretty morbid if you think about it.
Yeah, Grunty does some messed up things.
Yeah.
You're
gonna find out more about that by her sister Brentilda.
I can't imagine it takes like 8 hours for the machine she's in to finish. Cause like you see her and Tooty in the machine when you go into the lair. It can't take this long, come on.
You know, it should have been like Gruntilda's already beautiful, but then you beat the shit out of her, she becomes ugly again.
Yeah. So
then again, what's done is done. So
yeah. I think I remember seeing some kind of hack that shows off some like stuff that happens after the transformation, and Tooty's still ugly.
all this because she wanted to be beautiful.
Yeah.
Which kind of leads to the question of what is beautiful and what is ugly. That would have been a good alternate way to take it.
Yeah. Kazooie takes itself very lightly. The story, it doesn't take itself seriously, which is a good thing, I feel. Because, oh man.
The sequel does more of that.
Yeah.
Then again, there's a reason the stakes are higher in that game.
Yeah, this is just like your home turf, I guess. You're trying to get your sister back, and there's not much else to it. Say, in Tui, the whole world's at stake.
Yeah, she's going to make people zombified. I mean, look at the King Jinjo.
Oh yeah. Tui gets really dark sometimes.
Yeah, at the beginning, Bottles just gets eradicated.
Oh yeah. And you...
Fuck you, I'm invincible.
Yeah, from now on you only get one move per world, until you get to Gobby's Valley, where I believe that's the last move you get in the game.
Yeah, after that you don't get any other moves. Like, it's not like you need that many. Banjo Kazooie, as a sequel should just expand on what the original had. You have all the moves you had in the first game, but you get added moves.
Yeah, this game is really basic throughout the whole thing, but then when Tui comes along, it really ups its game.
Well, that's what sequels should do.
Definitely. Because Tui is the best example of a good sequel.
It's one of the best examples. You take what was there before and you build upon it.
It's one of my favorite sequels of all time.
So, something that games don't really do anymore is that instead of building upon a foundation, they just, rehash the same shit. And I know Mega Man kind of did that, but at least Mega Man was actually fun and actually had effort put into it, whereas games nowadays just barely have any effort into them.
When it comes to
where's that spark they had before?
Well, when it comes to making a sequel, I feel you should make it connect to the first game in some way, and make it so you still know all your moves you learnt from the previous game, so it feels connected.
Yeah, that's something Mega Man does really well, is to have everything connected to the first game.
There's a hidden empty honeycomb here, if you can actually... You can't see it, so you kind of just have to swim.
Oh, that's dickish.
Yeah. So just swim around and hopefully you don't drown yourself.
That's kind of like that one chocolate from Conker's Bad Birthday.
Well, at least you can actually collect it.
Yeah, true.
I can't imagine having an empty honeycomb in this game, like, uncollectible.
Oh, that would be dickish.
Yeah.
Although that is admittedly something I kind of don't like that 2E did, was how they changed the health system. I mean, you still collect honeycombs, but now you have to go to, what's her name?
Honey Bee, I think?
Yeah, you have to go to her, and then you have to exchange an amount of honeycombs. It's an increasing number every time. And that's something I kind of don't like, because whenever I get a health upgrade, I tend to prefer it when, if I collect enough of something, it increases automatically, because I don't like to have to backtrack a lot.
Thankfully, there's a bunch of warp silos everywhere, so it's not too big of a deal.
Yeah, that is a good point, because it does like minimize the backtracking. You're still backtracking, but it doesn't feel nearly as arbitrary.
My problem with the health in 2 is that it's not because of the honeybee thing. It's that in this game, once you get, like, you can see Banjo Kazooie's face there. Once you take damage, their expressions change. But in Kazooie, well, not in Turi. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
In Turi.
Yeah, in this game, the more you get hurt, the more worried they get.
Yeah.
Whereas in the sequel, it's just one plain face, which is something I hated about the sequels. That there was barely any humor, and I understand why, because fuck, the world is at stake. But come on, you can let loose a little bit. Just look at how Marvel Studios movies are.
Well,
World at stake, you can have some jokes, just don't overplay them.
I feel the humor is still there with Kazooie a little bit, but nowhere near as much. So I love how this game again tries to play around with itself. It doesn't take itself too seriously, and the humor is really nice. Like, you have Gruntilda rhyming while you're going through the lair and whatnot.
Yeah, something that Banjo Kazooie changed as well. Gruntilda doesn't rhyme anymore. Instead, it's Bottles' what is it, cousin or brother? Jim Jars.
I believe it's his brother, but don't quote me on that.
His rhymes may not be as good, but at least he teaches you some good shit.
Yeah. Also, I love how in Turi there's one Mumbo pad that brings aliens back to life, but why can't you do that with bottles?
You know, that is a good point.
Why don't
Is there
they just...
a reason why they didn't bring back Bottles if they had that power?
I don't know. You just have to wait until the end of the game to do that.
Wasn't there supposed to be like devil bottles or something?
I believe there was supposed to be like, yeah, some devil bottles thing, which would essentially be a co-op feature, but I'm assuming they cut out because of hardware limitations and time constraints.
Time constraints.
Yeah. Because I believe you can find hacks that has that feature intact.
Yeah, Banjo Kazooie was a bit of a rushed game. It wasn't a completely rushed game, but you could tell it was a little bit rushed.
Yeah, the thing is, that came out
2000.
Yeah, and I was near the GameCube when the GameCube was coming out, so Nintendo were like, get it out fast, and like for the holiday season, so they kind of had to rush things. It still turned out to be a brilliant game, but you can definitely tell they could have ironed out a few bugs, like especially the frame rate that needed to be fixed.
Well, I'm not sure if it could be completely fixed, because
Yeah.
the Banjo Kazooie is an example of a game that really pushed the N64 to its limits.
Oh, definitely.
And Conker's Bad Birthday is another example of that, to where if you play the game, be prepared to have a lot of slowdown.
Yeah. I haven't played the game yet, so...
It's actually a pretty good game, it just gets really bullshit hard at the war chapter. Are you gonna make it? Are you gonna make it?
Should.
Are you gonna make it? Are you gonna make it? Are you gonna
Yay.
make it? Are you gonna make it? Barely made it.
Alright,
Alright, now you got all the notes, so you don't have to worry about getting them all again when you die.
Yeah, so one more Jiggy. Let me see here. I believe I have all the... Okay, one more Jiggy.
Which one are you missing?
I think it's underwater. Because this is pretty much the closest we have in this game for a water level.
It's not that bad of a water stage, actually.
Yeah. Or a sewer level if you want to get pedantic.
It's a water and sewer stage, but it's not that bad of a one, to be honest.
Yeah. Sewer stages can be fun if they're executed correctly. And
Which they normally aren't.
Yeah.
Because they're normally very boring to play.
Yeah, this and the ones in Crash 2 I can enjoy.
I kind of enjoyed the sewer level in the first Sam Raimi Spider-Man game. That one was actually not. That was not. I'm becoming Jimmy from South Park. It wasn't that bad of a stage. To be honest.
I don't remember the sewer levels in that game.
There's only one.
Ah.
It was the one where it's after the subway with Shocker.
I can vaguely remember that. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Because straight after that, I went to the Spider-Man 2 game. I don't know if I'll probably OP those games at some point, but not for a while.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Hey, there it is.
All right.
Alright, that's all 10 jiggies.
I love the little fanfare it gives you when you
That's
get on
something I
tape.
missed from Tui as well, is
Yeah.
that they don't have that fanfare anymore.
Oh, I hate going through pipes like this because they're so long, so you almost drown. Right.
I think in Tui, do you get a extended air meter by saving Banjo's fish?
I think you do, yes.
Because I know you can get an extended oxygen meter in that game.
Yeah, I believe it's from the fish. Because you also, in Tui, when you save the fish, you can also hold B and A underwater so you can swim faster.
Oh, that's cool.
Which can help a lot.
Oh yeah, you swim a lot faster.
Yeah, so as soon as you finish Callisto Gulch Mine, go back to Spiral Mountain. So we should be able to get out of here now. You don't really need warp pads in this game just because of how compact the worlds feel.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, in Tui, there's a reason. That game is massive.
Yeah. Mayhem Temple is like the size of one of Kazooie's bigger levels.
That goes to show how they aren't fucking around.
Yeah. I don't think it's the exact. I don't think it's like the size of Click Clock Wood, but it's definitely up there.
I think it's there to show that Banjo Tooie isn't there to shit around.
Yeah. Oh crap.
Ooh. I just loved how Banjo's animation looked when he got hit when he was falling.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Brentilda.
I kind of miss her in Tui. It's like Tui kind of lost some of the character that this game had.
Yeah, but that was my. Well, it also probably had to do with the fact that I immediately went to Tui after beating the first game.
Yeah.
Because that's sort of a problem with energies aren't low.
Oh well.
But anyway, free refill.
Yep.
What was I? Oh yeah, I was going on about. Because with Banjo Kazooie, I beat it in a few days, and then I immediately went to Tui, and I felt burnt out. Which, you know, is something you should. When it comes to sequels, I recommend just waiting it out because you don't want to immediately rush to it. You're probably gonna get fatigued pretty quickly.
Yeah, because I'm going through Kingdom Hearts at the moment, but I feel I should wait a few months after finishing Kingdom Hearts 1 before going to Chain of Memories. Because I feel if I went to it straight after, I'd probably just get burnt out. Because apparently that game just goes back to the world you went to in 1, so.
Yeah, just don't.
Yeah.
It's like you're playing the same game again.
Yeah, it's on the 1.5 collection, so I'm gonna play it, but I wanna wait a little bit before doing so.
Yeah. And now we just unlocked the portal of Bubble Gloop Swamp.
Yep.
This was actually one of my favorite music pieces from the game.
Yeah, I haven't talked about it yet, but the soundtrack in this game is fantastic. Like,
Yeah.
Grant Kirkhope is just...
He is a musical genius.
He's a legend.
Yeah. I mean, like one of my favorite aspects of the soundtrack is that it depends on the area, because different areas the music changes a bit on notes. Like underwater is the biggest example. If you go down there, you can hear like what is it, like a submerged tune,
Yeah.
and then like you go back and it's lively again. It's like a nice attention to detail that many games don't even have anymore.
Yeah, I like that. Whenever you go to somewhere different in a world, the music changes slightly, but you can definitely tell it's still the same tune. Which is something I miss in games nowadays. You don't really see that in games now. I
You
believe
just get the same generic tunes over. Oh, hey, Brandilda.
again. You can only find her in Grunty's lair, so.
Did you mention that this is going to help for the board game later?
Yes. Well, I vaguely mentioned it. Like, you'll need these to help you go through like a section at the end game kind of thing, but.
That's just something I love about both Banjo games, is at the end they just decide to postpone the epic battle with minigame! Like like a game show, and I love that.
Yeah. Oh, let's see what Grunty says.
The stupid question should stop. You won't get to me at the top.
I voice acted in my original playthrough of the game, but I decided to stop doing that for this one because I want to prevent making people get ear raped.